Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cultures Connected, Dissecting the Drive, episode 3. Today we're going to go back in time, and we're going to cover a game from 2015, during my time at Samwell. And this game was from the 2015 season, and we were facing the Bombers of Lancashire for the second time that year. A little bit of backstory to this game itself. Our head coach at the time, he was a big fan of keeping things back for the second time he faced the opponent. So for the first 5 games of the season, we literally only ever ran 2x2 or 3x1. And our play was very small because we were trying to keep stuff in the pocket for later in the season. So this game was the first game that we actually pulled out our 2-back stuff. And it was actually at half time when I decided that I was going to do this at this point because our offense had basically struggled for 2 quarters against this Bomber defense. We were not on form. We were making silly mistakes and not completing passes and just generally having an off day as sometimes you do. And we needed the spark, and we'd been practicing our 2-back stuff for quite a while. We hadn't repped it in a game yet, so I decided to reach back in the bag at half time and put it out. We were trailing at half 12-6. And we started the second half with a pick 6 from our defense, who were keepers in the game at that point. And this is our first offensive drive of the second half from inside our own 10. We'll go through the drive and we'll talk about whatever we can. Again, the film from this era, it's not a huddle, it's just archive stuff that I have, so it's difficult to do a lot of pause and stuff all the best we can. We'll talk about it. This is from 2015, I believe it's game 5, maybe game 6, I can't be certain. We'll have a look and we'll see what we do. Okay, so we're in 2x2 there for the first time this season. A lot of the times we default to 2 2 to the right. In this year we did go to the left as well, so we would flip it around. But for the most part, we do in 2x2 stick with 2 guys to the right and 1 guy to the left and 2 in the backfield. And at this point, it was strictly pro. We weren't putting in any fullback stuff, two king and queen stuff. It was literally pro. But it was a change up that this defense hadn't planned for or prepared for. It was a nice little wrinkle. So we'll go through. That first play. Good run. Running back. As you can see at that time, take it back. When we put this in, we want to run. The back is getting the football, and the back that's not getting it, we're going to run option on the backside. Okay. Now later on down the line, we'll add another wrinkle to that where we'll cross the backs, or we'll lead the backs. So we got 3 options and 3 looks out of that one formation. But because this was our first week of doing it, we literally kept it bare minimum. So our default was to run the option on the backside. So you'll see that even though we hand the ball off nicely, we get a big gain. We freeze that back of there, and we have the option backside. Nice little run. We took up 8, maybe 10 yards. Make the first down. Again, angle's not that great because it was sideline cam. You can see we're spinning 2 back. Our backs at the time, Lee French, he played for Revolution. He made the switch mid-season. Come and join us. This is our championship winning year, our undefeated season in 2015. We did some good stuff this year. And our start at that point was Dwayne, and he's what I call a glider. He's very shifty, and he seems to glide past people, and it's very hard to bring down. But I tended to break it, as most backs do. He wants to go outside all the time, but he's very good. 2 very good backs. Again, we hand it off, freezing this back here. They've got to maintain that line with the running back, and if they don't, we keep it. Hand it off again. Get a short game, mixing it through. As you can see, we're rotating the backs around, so sometimes I fall back over this side and I arm this side. We try to keep it fresh. As you can see, I decided it was a glider. Go back and watch that again. This time it is a lead, I think. So we got a lead in. So on the snap, H-back will run into the hole first. So if this was just a regular dive, it would be a dive lead. So our running back, our H-back would hit the hole first, and then our R-back would follow him. As you can see, our H-back is running into the hole. R follows him into that hole behind him. Got some good box man line. There's always first contact, second contact, and just glides for the first down. So we've now moved from inside around 10 to about our 30-yard line. And we're moving along nicely. Again, this defense hasn't seen from us. Also, they're now coaching on the fly. This is what we want to make DCs do is do stuff they're not prepared for. Again, we return the favour. Now this time we're going to run. We're going to run dive to the right, but we're going to have our R back lead and our H back following. Which is a little bit slow getting to the hole, but makes it. Let me get it in a few yards to get the first down. Okay. You can see on this one we actually keep it and pitch it. Go back. So because we saw that inside run like 3 or 4 times now, the entire defense points down on our running back, and that QB inside now trying to pull it. That QB was a very savvy QB, best QB I ever had. I had the pleasure to coach. Our running back is in a nice relationship with that QB. We want a 4 yard by 1 yard depth. QB pitches it. Nice secure the football. Turns on the afterburners. Passes our head coach and myself. Picks up the first down and more. Great run. All built off of the fact that we have sold it by running the inside 2 or 3 times. And every time you run that inside, you have to sell the fake on the opposite side. And that way it builds it up. And then once they bite in, you can then hand it off. So they bite in on that particular course. You can see the backers have bit in, the linemen have bit in, whoever's available is bitten in. There's a quarterback with the choice to make of either keeping it or handing it off. Our QB is smart and he's like, let's just get the running back the football. So we do. Pitches it, makes that guy miss. Let me get the first down and move the chains. Again, still in 2 back. This is our first drive of the third quarter. You can see that we still got 2 receivers to the right. So nothing to change there, and X's coming to a little bit more to give us a bit more room on the sideline if you want to throw a fade. Again, direct dive up the middle. High snap. So it kind of forces our hand a little bit, so we have to hand it off. But now the 2 guys are looking for the 2 guys out here now looking for the R to get the option. So we hit straight the middle where the gap is, where the middle soft. Big run, puts your shoulder down. Nice run there for first down. Again, still 2 back. Hand it off again. We score. Now the simple dive play. Again, we've sold it in the middle. We're trying to lead with the other back. He gets in the mix. We score. Our other running back is leading. He sees the hole, cuts it back. He did a very good job of cutting it back in the space. And we score. If I can just forward a little bit to our next drive. We'll watch the second drive. I think we score again. I'm not sure. We score again. Okay, so this is our next drive off of this. From the front. So our next drive, same game. It's our handoff. He's a different running back this time. Still running the option backside. Good cutback for our running back. We had a good stable of running back this year in 2015. Very good. All able to carry the rock. The idea is to keep it balanced as we can, even though we're in 2 back. We still want to throw. And you can't really tell from this angle, but the hitch is on. So our QB is savvy enough to know that we're going to throw the hitch. Which we do. Pick up 2 or 3 yards. Move on. Keeping them honest and balanced so that now they have to be aware that we can still pass out of this formation. It's not a pure run formation as it has been short term. We can do things out of it by passing and running. Hand off again, another lead play. You can see our running back is supposed to hit that hole first, and our H will follow him into the hole, lead off his back, which he does. And do a better job of actually blocking it this time, and we get a short and minimal gain. First down catch. So now we're just running stick. Now we're running stick from 2 back. So we got our fade on the outside, we got our 5 and 8 from our Y, and our single side is running a slant. Not sure what I asked the running back to do at this point, whether it was stay home or it was to run it route. So our H is running the swing and our R staying home. But that receiver is nice and big, strong. You can see that we've sucked everybody in. They won hard. We sucked everybody in with the run game. Completes a nice little pass. We move the chains. And it's first and goal. First and goal. So now we bring our big guy back in, our power guy. We fake the inside run. We then option it. He makes a miss. And we score for the second time. Let's watch this play again. We sell that. The options right away to give this guy enough room to move and get outside, which he does. Great pitch, great recovery, and we just jet into the end zone. Okay. That's another dissecting the drive. Again, it's still a bit of a throwback from 2015 of when we did stuff from that era and what we were doing. So hopefully you'll enjoy it.